want to start this hour continuing to follow that ongoing standoff between protesters and federal ICE officers. At points, it really has been quite chaotic today. In the last hour or so, a federal vehicle's tire was slashed as it was entering the facility. NewsNation's Nichole Berlie was live on our air when it happened.
Now they've just popped a tire, so you can see this. They just slashed this tire right here.
Nichole Berlie still live at this facility outside of Chicago. And Nichole, have they successfully dispersed these protesters? What are we seeing?
Yeah, right now we're only seeing about 30 people still out here. Earlier, we were looking at around 100 individuals that were protesting ICE and Border Patrol. Right now, they've dispersed to kind of the other side of the road, which was something that the Border Patrol Chief Bovino was forcing them to do and get away from the federal facility. So every time a van comes or goes from this facility, something kind of escalates. We see some kind of tension rise. And so that's what we've been watching. We just saw a woman pushed to the ground because she was standing in the way when a van was trying to leave. So they're not holding back at all on either side, really. And it seems to be that a lot of these protesters that still remain kind of want some kind of escalation to happen. They're kind of agitating Border Patrol and ICE whenever those gates open, going toe-to-toe with them. They're quite literally sitting in the middle of the roadways, blocking them from coming and going. At one point, an individual jumped on the hood of one of the government vehicles, and protesters got involved, and ICE and Border Patrol were trying to apprehend that individual, but the protesters kind of blocked them from access. And then, of course, we saw that tire being slashed live on air as well as another vehicle was trying to leave. So these vehicles right now, from what we understand, they're actually transporting targeted illegal immigrants. These are people that have some kind of felony conviction or a final order of removal. They've gone out, they targeted this individual. This isn't in a Home Depot sweeping raid that they're doing this. They're going out. We've actually seen it happen where they go in and they find an individual who has a criminal conviction, and then they do the recon work, they do the homework, and they arrest that individual. They bring them here for processing, and then after that processing, they're going to be transported to a detention facility. But yeah, tensions here have kind of risen and fallen all morning long. We've been out here since about 5 o'clock this morning, and those different kind of scenarios have played out all morning long. And again, we do expect this to continue. The protest was only supposed to be from 7 to 9, Natasha, but of course we're well beyond that. Now they're calling for people to come back after work tonight, so we expect these tensions to continue throughout the day as we're out here in Broadview, Illinois. Natasha.
Yeah, Nichole, we know there was that Border Patrol chopper circling we're looking at, and you also got an inside look at Operation Midway Blitz, as it's called. You went on that ride along. How targeted are these operations? Are they targeting criminals who are in the country illegally? And to what extent are there collateral arrests happening?
Yeah, so we were there when both of those things happened. So they arrested 2 individuals, both of them from Mexico. One had a felony conviction for counterfeit. The other individual in that car, he was what you would consider a collateral because he was here illegally, so he was arrested. However, he was not actually the target. So what they do is like I said, they will spend days, maybe weeks, establishing what they call a pattern of life. They figure out when they're coming, when they're going, what kind of vehicles they drive. So they're not just randomly stopping vehicles. They're not just randomly pulling people out of their homes. They know exactly who they're going after. But there are those instances where someone else might be in that home where they are arrested or detained as a collateral. Now, we saw that when Kristi Noem was on the ground. We saw 2 U.S. citizens actually detained temporarily because DHS says they were inside that home while they were conducting an operation. So for the safety of officers and for them, they were held while they were making the arrest of 2 other illegal immigrants. And they said that's standard protocol. So we are seeing that happen. But Border Patrol, when we were out with them yesterday, the whole process only took 4 minutes to make this arrest. And they said it's textbook because that's what they want. They don't want to go into these communities and make disruptions and upend people's lives. They want to go after the target, and then they want to get out. And everybody at the end of the day wants to go home safely, Natasha.
Yeah, of course. Nichole Berlie, keeping that situation monitored outside of Chicago. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.